Hello YouTube and welcome back to Pure Heart. Chris, as usual, back with another worship review album as I am reviewing today Hillsong Worship's Awake album. And this album is a very rarity in Hillsong Worships, not just from the lyrics, but more from the way that it was taken. And this is actually a studio album, so it's a whole lot different, and you get that whole different vibe. And the last studio album that they did was 2 decades ago, so it's just like, whoa, dude, like, you guys kind of need to do just a little bit studio albums like a little bit more often. And however, some people may be a little bit of a dislike for some. But for me, I do love it because it's a very nice change of the pace from basically hearing from a lot of other worship albums where it's just like, huge worship moment, huge spontaneous moment. And for this, it just feels really concealed and more concise, and it just feels like, you're experiencing something that, you haven't experienced. And so, listening to it, it's just like, I don't know if I like this, but at the same time, I really, really love this. And that's honestly what my experience has literally with this entire album, because of how just lyrically it's, beautiful. There's so many, I'm not going to go in details about songs, because again, this is one that you guys need to experience for your own self. And honestly, and what I really love about this album is that it's amazing. Like, again, like what I said, like this, you're going through this experience during this whole album. There's just so many, and even with songs that that it's really of a slow burn, that, it's just building and building and building until this big, huge moment usually occurs within the bridge, or even like the third or second time that they do the chorus. It's just really nice. Also the music of this is beautiful. They use so much atmospheric tones with this, and from the Spotify, I don't know how it is for the CD version or even the iTunes version or whatever version that you guys are listening to this on, but with the Spotify version, it has 3 different live songs. So I was like, okay, how are some of these songs gonna sound live? I mean, obviously the last 2 live songs, you can be like, okay, I can easily see this song being a live song. But with one of their songs, which is called See the Light, and hearing that live, and it's like, dude, this is amazing. Okay, and honestly, I actually kind of hope that they actually that they have a live version of this album, because all these songs can become into a regular worship album, like a regular live album. So honestly, all these songs could be used at any point during a worship service, and that's what I love. No, I don't really have much issues with a lot of the lyrics, and even with songs that, it's just like, it's not that, juicy-fied. Like, I can think of songs like The Upper Room, but that song still is a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful song, just from the music, just from the person's voice. And literally with one of the songs, which is called Come Alive, like, Brian Hastings is honestly probably like one of the best worship singers out. If you guys saw my other review, where one of the highlights was Another in the Fire, and you get Brian Hastings back for this song, which is called Come Alive, and I literally have that song literally stuck in my head, and it's just like, dude, yes, it's like talking about the dry bones. It has metaphors of Ezekiel in there. It has metaphors of, our own Christian life. It has metaphors of, us being raised to life again. And it's amazing. Like, there's just so many great, metaphors within these songs. Literally with the first song called Awake My Soul. And you just get this, amazing sense of, awakening in this whole album that, like, I'm not a huge person on revival, which is kind of what they were going for this, with Hillsong. United being people, and this one be called Awake, literally on their about. If you go to Hillsong and look at their lyrics, I will put a link to the website of that, and just looking at the about of this album, and it's really interesting that I'm not a huge fan of revivals, because it's just me, because already the Holy Spirit lives within us, so all we need is just just more people just stepping up, and to be honest. And so, but at the same time, I can see where a little bit of revival is useful, and also this is also a huge turning point for Hillsong Church, because or really for Hillsong worship, because this is also a different chapter, because they have a new worship leader, and Brooke Lingeredwood. I'm terrible with names, and Brooke literally does amazing work on this album, and I'm so really impressed with this new step for Hillsong worship, and I'm really excited for what's gonna happen. And so with that, my rating out of 5, this album is a 5 praise hands. A little bit more of the accurate of this album would probably a 4.8 or 4.9. But at the same time, if I'm that close to a 5, I'm just gonna give it a 5, because just of literally just the amazing atmosphere, just from the amazing lyrics, from the amazing sound quality, the fact that it's also a studio album rather than being a live album, and the fact that I actually want a live album from this album, and the fact that there's just so many great songs. And this is definitely an album that you guys need to listen to as soon as possible. I believe that God is doing within the, I know a lot of people give slack about the Hillsong Church, that they get, well, man, don't listen to that Hillsong. But no, if you just truly listen to this album even more than their Hillsong United's People album, I feel like that this one truly emphasized of a little bit of a turning stone, at least for the worship wise, for Hillsong. I'm really excited. There's so many great songs in this album that you guys definitely, again, need to listen to. And hey, we're at my shortest review ever, so honestly, that's a praise right there for a lot of people. But if you guys would, again, leave a like on this video, comment for any more reviews that you want me to do. I will try to switch it up here and there with a little bit longer videos and a little bit shorter videos here. Or if you guys like this shorter video, just have a different flow, let me also know in the comments. Or if you guys want me to go a little bit deeper, again, let me know about that. And again, subscribe to this channel. And guess what? You are loved. Boom. Bye.